Okay, from the life of the Holy Prophet, peace be upon him, the topic of Miraj is one of the important topic of our Islamia syllabus paper 1. And this question repeatedly came in different years. It came in June 2011, November 2013, November 2016. So several times this question has been repeated, and again there are chances that this question could come again. So, like the question, give an account of the events of the Prophet's night journey and ascension, his Isra and Miraj. So, you should be able to write a detailed answer for such type of question, and we can start the answer from that when this incident happened, where was the Prophet Muhammad, peace upon him, what were the major details. You have to write about the major details. Just briefly mention a brief background that Prophet peace upon him was going through a very difficult phase of his life, since after the boycott he has lost the travel support, he has lost the support of his beloved wife Hazrat Khadija radhiyallahu ta'ala anha, and he visited Taif afterwards, where he was opposed. He was Prophet peace upon him was very much disheartened on the bad response of the Makkans and also the people of Taif. So that is why Allah wanted to show him that his efforts are not useless. They are not they will not go in vain. And he is very much close to Allah Almighty. And he is very much high in the sight of Allah Almighty. So that for that purpose, Allah wanted him to re-energize him for the future through this great journey, so that he would be able to visit and witness some of his signs, and so that he would be able to witness that whatever he was preaching earlier, so that he would witness some of these things. So according to some sources, this event of Miraj, it happened in his life in Makkah, and um, after careful analysis, we can say that according to some sources, it is on 27th night of the month of Rajab. It is very much famous. It is that it took place on Rajab 27th. Okay, 12th year of prophethood. Some sources mention even the 10th year of prophethood. Okay, we can say that it happened in the 12th year of prophethood. That is more accurate. We can say it is more accurate. It happened when the Prophet peace upon him. Then you have to mention that how it happened. That Prophet peace upon him was sleeping, and he was there in Hatim. Okay, the place where his grandfather Abdul Muttalib used to stay sometime. That is Hatim, which is just outside the Kaaba, which is the part of Kaaba. So Jibril Islam woke him up and informed him about Allah's invitation. So okay, first he took him to Hatim, and he opened his heart, washed it, took out his, opened his chest, and uh, what he did, he washed it with zamzam, and he filled it with some noor, some light, and these are the things which happened at that time. Fine. Then the heart was placed back to its place, and then the Prophet peace upon him went out of Kaaba, out of Masjid Haram, and there he rode a heavenly creature which is known as Buraq. Okay, the story of this night journey and ascension, these are the two parts which happened in one night. The first part of the journey, it took place from Masjid Haram to Masjid Aqsa. This part is known as Isra. Isra is a night journey. It is from Masjid Haram to Masjid Aqsa. So from here, Allah is Allah took his servant, the Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, from Masjid Haram to Masjid Aqsa, and that is there mentioned in Surah Isra. Okay, Surah Bani Israel, or it is also known as Surah Isra, the first verse. Glory to Allah, who did take his servant from journey by night from the sacred mosque to the farthest mosque. Okay, so you can mention even that much verse in your answer, that glory to your Lord who has taken his servant from for a journey by night from the sacred mosque to the farthest mosque. Okay, upon reaching Masjid Aqsa, he led the prophets in prayers. Okay, he tied his animal Buraq, okay, with a ring, and when he entered, he found the previous angels assembled there. The Prophet peace upon him and Jibril rode the Buraq to the sacred mosque of worship in Jerusalem, and once they reached there, they tied the animal outside the mosque where the former prophets had tied their animals. Fine. And then they entered the mosque, and there they found the prophets, the previous prophets assembled there. Prophet peace upon him led them in prayer. Okay, Jibril Islam after he led the prophets in prayer, Jibril Islam brought two vessels. Okay, and one was filled with wine, and the other one was filled with milk. So two vessels were brought. Okay, Prophet peace upon him chose the vessel which was filled with milk, upon which the Prophet peace upon him was praised. You can mention. Okay, he was offered that he can have either of them. Prophet peace upon him chose the milk, and Jibril Islam said to the Prophet peace upon him that you chose the natural one. If you had chosen the wine, your ummah would have gone astray after you. Okay, after your death, you would have gone astray. So you chose the milk in accordance with the purity of your nature. Okay, because you are pure in nature. Hence, you have received the guidance, and your followers have too. If you have chosen wine, your followers would have been astray. Then this would be could be your second paragraph, that how this journey started and what happened, from what happened in Isra, that his night journey from Masjid Haram to Masjid Aqsa. Then you can change the paragraph and you can start writing about it, how the second part of the journey started from Masjid Aqsa up to the heavens. Okay, the second part started from here, from Masjid Aqsa, and Prophet peace upon him then was taken to the first level of the heaven. Okay, whether it was on the same animal Buraq, or whether some other thing has been brought for him, so you do not, it's not necessary that you should mention that how. You can just mention that then the second part of the journey started from here, and he was taken to the first level of the heaven. Okay, and here he met the first prophet. Okay, Hazrat Adam alayhi salam. Okay, the door of the heaven was knocked, and Jibril asked for the door to be opened for the Prophet, peace upon him. And there stood Hazrat Adam alayhi salam. He was the first prophet, the first man and the first prophet. There was the exchange of greetings between the two. Adam alayhi salam greeted, and the Prophet, peace upon him, replied the greetings. Okay, and then at that there here, the Prophet, peace upon him, noticed people sitting on his both sides, right and left. Okay, when he looked towards his right, he would smile, and when he looked towards his left, he would weep or cry. Jibril Islam told him that these are his descendants. Okay, people. Those on his right are the inhabitants of the paradise, and those on the left are the inhabitants of the hell. Then the Prophet, peace upon him, moved to the next level. Okay, and here he met with with two prophets. They were the two cousins. He met with Hazrat Yahya and Hazrat Isa. Okay, so these two. In the first, he met with Hazrat Adam. On the second, he met with Hazrat Yahya and Hazrat Isa alayhi salam. Okay, and there was the exchange of greeting, and then on the next level, on the third, he met with Hazrat Yusuf, and then Hazrat Idris, and then Hazrat Harun, and on the sixth, he met with Hazrat Musa, and on the seventh level, he met Hazrat Ibrahim alayhi salam, peace be upon them all, respectively. So at these seven different levels, he met with these prophets, and there were the exchange of greetings between these messengers and the Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him. And finally, when he reached the seventh level of the heaven, he met Hazrat Ibrahim alayhi salam, resting, okay, against Baitul Mamur. Baitul Mamur is exactly above Baitullah. Okay, Baitullah is on the earth. Okay, it is the holy Kaaba. Exactly above Baitullah, there is Baitul Mamur. Okay, it's the house of worship with 70,000 different angels. They circumambulate, they perform tawaf every day. Okay, Prophet, peace upon him, met with Hazrat Ibrahim alayhi salam, and from here the Prophet, peace upon him, was then led to Sidratul Muntaha. Then he went to Sidratul Muntaha together with Jibril, and from Sidratul Muntaha the Prophet, peace upon him, traveled alone. Okay, Prophet, peace upon him, explained the beauty of this tree. Okay, Prophet, peace upon him, said that no words can explain its beauty. It's so much beautiful that it was covered with the beautiful golden moths. Fine. and the leaves were very much beautiful and they were very much large. The leaves were of the size of the elephant here, and its fruits were of the size of a small pitcher. Okay, Prophet peace upon him said that no words can explain its beauty, and they were covered with the golden moths. Then from here he traveled alone, since Jibril could not proceed further. Okay, because if he would proceed, his wings would burn, and till the Prophet peace upon him he reached he reached in the presence of Allah Almighty. Fine, and then here you can talk about that the conversation took place. The last verses of Surah Baqarah were revealed to the Prophet Muhammad peace be upon him, and 50 prayers were made obligatory on him. Okay, 50 prayers a day were made obligatory. Fine, and then you can further mention, give the details that when the Prophet peace upon him, the three things actually happened. Okay, 50 daily prayers were made obligatory initially. The last two verses of the chapter of Surah Baqarah were revealed, and the major sins of the people from the Ummah of Muhammad would be forgiven, except those who associate partners with Allah Almighty. Otherwise, the other sins would be forgiven. Then you can change the paragraph. Then Prophet peace upon him was shown the heaven and the hell and different types of punishment. And then when he was returning back, he was stopped by the Prophet Musa alayhi salam, and he asked about it, what has been given to him as a worship. Okay, so Prophet peace upon him told him that 50 prayers a day were made obligatory, to which Musa alayhi salam advised him that your followers are not strong enough. Okay, go back to your Lord and ask him to make it lighter. To which the Prophet peace upon him looked at Jibril alayhi salam, and when he received an approval, a positive approval from him, so he decided to go back. Okay, he went back and the prayers were reduced to 10. From 50, the prayers were reduced to 10. Again, Musa alayhi salam advised him to go again and ask for further reduction, which the Prophet peace upon him did, and this time prayers were reduced to 5. Okay, Prophet peace upon him was again recommended by Hazrat Musa alayhi salam to ask for further reduction. Okay, because since he had an experience that they will, from his own people that his followers would not be able to carry out this duty. Okay, Prophet peace upon him did not intend to return another time. Okay, Absalom said that I felt ashamed before my Lord. He said that I felt ashamed before my Lord. So at that time, it was made obligatory that 5 prayers are obligatory, with the reward that the reward would remain 50. So the Prophet peace upon him returned back to Makkah before the dawn, and some sources mention that it all happened in a very small portion of night, that the bed he has left and the bed on which he was sleeping before going for the journey, it was still warm, and the door chain of his house was still moving when he returned back. So it all happened in a very short span of time, since it was one of the greatest miracle of the Holy Prophet peace be upon him. And in the next morning, after the prayer, when he narrated this incident and he told the people and he told the Makkans about what happened to him last night, and that he traveled such a long distance and he went there. So they made fun of him, they mocked him. They went to Abu Bakr and told him the whole story, thinking that it would shake his belief and the faith in the Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him. So he asked that Abu Bakr radiallahu anhu asked about that who is saying and all this. So they said that if Prophet peace upon him said so, then that must be true. And because of that, Abu Bakr radiallahu anhu received the title Siddiq. Siddiq means the one who believes, the one who testified the truth. They tested him in different ways. They asked different questions, since these people had been to Jerusalem and they had visited Masjid Aqsa. They were well aware about its features, about the building. So they tested him and they asked different questions from him. And and Prophet peace upon him replied to all their questions. And Abu Bakr radiallahu anhu testified, okay, all these answers, that whatever the Prophet peace upon him is informing, it is extremely based on truth. Okay, Prophet peace upon him was shown the whole Masjid Aqsa, when they were asking these questions from him, and Prophet peace upon him replied to all their questions. But even they did not believe in him. Okay, and whatever the Prophet peace upon him informed them about, whatever he has witnessed during the journey, it all came true later on. Fine. So this is all about the Prophet's journey, which is known as Isra and Miraj. So you have to prepare this topic in this way, and you have to write the answer in detail, the way I have explained and told you in detail.